the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up on the news at noon, killed in the line of duty. Officials now identifying the firefighter killed while battling a house fire and how long he has served in the department. And later, putting a stop to drag racing, the work being done in Prince George's County to make streets safer for everyone.
And we finally kicked the storms out of here, folks, but guess what has returned? Some haze to the sky. How could that impact your day, and is it going to linger about long? We'll let you know coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Damon, and good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Starting this afternoon with breaking news out of Prince George's County. Police are investigating the fatal shooting of two men. This happened on Allentown Road in Joint Base Andrews around 7 this morning. One of the men died at the scene. The other died at the hospital a short time later. Police are working to find suspects and a motive, though investigators believe that this was targeted. Well, St. Mary's County community is mourning the loss of a naval firefighter. Now, officials say that he died fighting a house fire in Leonardtown yesterday morning. This is 25-year-old Bryce Troshbach. Officials say that he joined the department back in 2019. He began his career with the Bay District Volunteer Fire Department in 2013. And officials say that the fire broke out around 4 a.m. inside of a house on Deerwood Park Drive. They say it took about 75 firefighters to put it out. Again, one firefighter died after falling through the first floor of the home. The fire displaced a family that had been living in the home since 1976.
It just tears you up, you know. You try to keep a positive attitude, and it takes a lot of gall, I guess, to keep going. Because everything's been taken from you. I mean, everything.
State Fire Marshal is investigating the cause of the fire. Well, retired Maryland police chief will spend the rest of his life in prison for 12 arsons targeting his enemies over 2 decades. David Crawford led Laurel's police department before resigning back in 2010. Earlier this year, Crawford was found guilty on 8 counts of attempted murder and several other charges. The attempted murder charges stemmed from multiple house fires Crawford intentionally set. He targeted victims that he or his wife had previous disagreements with. Crawford was sentenced to 2 life sentences and an additional 75 years in prison. Well, we're taking a look outside right now. The smoke from the Canadian wildfires making its way back to our area, so you can expect air quality alerts and a hazy, sunshiny day. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us with the latest check on the forecast. And Damon, I assume this is not going to be nearly as bad as it was a week and a half ago.
No, definitely not as bad as what we experienced those few weeks back. But yeah, you get the combination of these warm summer days, and then you add in a little bit of that wildfire smoke that has returned. It does cause a problem with the air quality. And let's go ahead and check it out there. Yes, we already had a little bit of that haze showing up in that live shot in D.C., but ironically enough, the worst of the air quality is not across the I-95 corridor and into D.C. Certainly, though, we are seeing moderate levels of air pollution to the south and east. It's back to the north and west here. Places like Hagerstown, Winchester, and then especially far western Maryland is where the air quality is definitely at its worst. And we are talking about more of a code red air quality alert for Allegheny and Garrett counties in western Maryland. And what that means is that the air is not good for parts of the general population, not just people with asthma, older adults, and other sensitive groups. But here you are. We have air quality alerts spanning the entirety of Maryland through the district and then parts of northern Virginia here today. And again, most of those air quality alerts are code orange, which means that sensitive groups are going to be impacted by that haze and wildfire smoke out there today. But the code red, again, means unhealthy levels of air pollutants back across far western Maryland, and that will continue to be the case through the rest of the day today. Now, if it wasn't for that, it actually is a pretty nice one out there. Aside from that, with our weather conditions, upper 70s to low 80s expected later this afternoon. We have northwesterly winds, which is part of the reason the haze has showed back up, but it's also keeping the air more comfortable throughout the day today. Not as much humidity in place. But do we see another change in our weather pattern that will kick out this smoke and haze by the time we head toward the end of the week? We're going to have a full check of your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
Well, for years, drag racing has been a problem in Prince George's County, and now the police department is changing their strategy to put a stop to it. The illegal pop-up events bring out hundreds of people, all parking and standing in empty parking lots or county intersections. Well, police try to respond quickly and disperse the crowd, but many times are outnumbered and slowed down by spectators. Now the chief has given the okay for a task force dedicated to these events, and this will keep the department from pulling overtime officers and keep focus on the drag races. Well, in addition to stopping them from happening, police are ticketing cars that have been altered and working to educate people on the dangers of street racing events.
The fines are definitely a deterrent. The towing of their vehicles is definitely a deterrent because that, not only do they get a fine, but now they're going to have to pay impound and release fees. So you try to educate, but you also try to hurt them in the pocketbook also.
Those numbers will certainly add up. The police department is also looking into partnering with insurance companies to penalize young people who engage in drag racing. In Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin is facing a lawsuit over voting rights for convicted felons. Felons in Virginia are automatically disqualified from voting unless the governor restores those rights. The suit alleges the Commonwealth is violating a Reconstruction-era federal law in denying them the right to vote. The Supreme Court is handling down a major decision on election laws. That ruling was released yesterday, and the court ruled that legislatures do not have the power to ignore state court rulings when it comes to running elections. This was a case out of North Carolina that was closely watched, and Trevor Shirley takes a closer look.
The court ruled 6-3 that the North Carolina Supreme Court was acting within its authority when it ruled state Republicans had unfairly gerrymandered electoral districts to benefit their party's candidate. State Republicans sued, arguing the U.S. Constitution allows state legislatures ultimate power in federal elections, regardless of what a state constitution says. That argument, known as the independent state legislature theory, was ultimately rejected Tuesday by the Supreme Court. The ruling essentially says that state legislatures must play by the rules established by state constitutions and courts. Had the Supreme Court embraced this theory, it would have affected not only redistricting disputes, but also other things like mail-in voting rules and requirements needed to vote. It could have also allowed state legislatures to overturn elections results that they didn't agree with, potentially setting up a major impact on the 2024 elections. Following this ruling, the Supreme Court said tried and true precedents checking the authority of state legislatures will remain in place.
The court gave state legislatures unbridled, unchecked authority to gerrymander congressional districts. Then it's really just a partisan game. It's just a situation where politicians are selecting voters rather than voters selecting politicians.
Well, that was Trevor Shirley reporting. There are still 7 opinions the court has to release, including 2 that could determine the future of affirmative action in college admissions. A new opinion is expected tomorrow. Well, there are some changes in the D.C. court system since the pandemic. Those include new technology as well as the different ways that you can show up for certain cases. And it's all part of the D.C. Court's Re-Imaging Courts campaign. And judges at D.C.'s superior courts can decide if they want jury trials or other types of hearings to be in person or online. Meantime, D.C. Court of Appeals says that it's opening a hybrid program for oral arguments.
Under the pilot program, parties may request to appear remotely. The court may also conduct the entire proceeding remotely if needed.
D.C. Courts also offers what it's called remote hearing sites, which with secure internet and computers for residents to use across the district. And those sites are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 in the morning until 4 p.m. Well, in our schools, traffic cameras are coming to Fairfax County school buses. Elected officials have pushed for over a decade. Our Haley Milan is in Chantilly with a closer look.
50 school buses will be outfitted with traffic cameras on various routes throughout Fairfax County, and police tell me that they think these extra sets of eyes out on the roads will tamp down on reckless driving around students.
You don't want anybody's child to be hurt.
Debbie Kashansky drops off her grandson at elementary school in Centerville, and she sees drivers disregard bus stop signs all the time.
So we're watching all the time, those of us, the mothers and grandmas that are there.
A new solution coming to 50 school buses in the district in spring of 2024.
Going to try to deter the person, maybe put their phone down.
Lieutenant Harold Morris oversees the Fairfax Police Traffic Safety Services. If a camera captures someone running a bus stop sign, the camera vendor, Vera Mobility, will validate the footage and send it to Morris's team. A police officer will then review the case and issue a citation if warranted. If you get caught, you'll be mailed a notice with a link to review a 5-second video clip of the violation and a link to pay the $250 fine. A long time coming for Board Chairman Jeffrey McKay and Drainsville District Supervisor John Faust.
I listened to the bus drivers honking at the cars passing, which is literally about all they can do about it.
Faust has pushed for the camera since 2011 when the technology became legal.
I see it all the time. People driving through the bus stop, flashing lights.
Since deploying speed cameras in August of 2022, school zones have seen a 33% reduction in speeding. Those are the kind of results that community members want to see here.
If you don't see it, you kind of become aware that maybe I need to be careful.
Although citations will be sent to the address associated with the car's tags, the driver, not the car owner, will be charged. In Chantilly, I'm Haley Mylon, DC News Now.